What's up, Insane Rhetoric? What's up? You know what time it is. The world is upside down and we're trying to make it right side up. It is some tomfoolery in the game. It is some tomfoolery in the game. What is we gonna do, people? What's we gonna do, Master? What's up, sister?
Morning, y'all.
Morning. That's it. Just born. Here we go. So what's the word? What's going on? What's happening? Y'all know? Y'all know what the word is?
Hey, we told y'all. Listen, y'all. Okay. Listen, Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda. Hey, you need to tell Manuel to settle down in the back, or we gonna put him on the show.
Okay, first let me tell y'all we live. We live and we on location. We both on different locations. We not in our regular spot.
Right.
So y'all gotta bear with us, cause y'all know where I'm. Y'all know I gotta put in a plug for Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
Well, I'm in a dump truck this morning. This is crazy. So.
Okay, but anyway, so y'all know that we tell y'all that this is the Sesame Street for adults.
Yep.
Okay.
True that.
So we're gonna start with this. The word for today. Listen, children. The word for today is.
The word for today is children. That's noisy. Beat your kids.
Okay. Listen, children. The word for today is stupidity. Stupidity.
That's a compound word.
That's not a compound word.
That's a compound word with 3 compounds.
That's 3 syllables.
3 syllables of a compound. Yeah.
Compound word is 2 words put together.
I know what a compound word is.
Oh, okay.
I know. But that's a compound word with an extra word.
Okay. The phrase for today is stone ages. Stone ages. Repeat after me, children. Stone.
Down. What is it? What was the Flintstone theme song? I don't remember the Flintstone theme song, but that would be fitting right now.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
That's it.
Yeah, Marty.
From the town of Bedrock. They're a place right out of his story.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so as of June 24th, Friday, June 24th, a day that will live in infamy. The Supreme Court of the United States of America overturned the decision of Roe versus Wade,
which we knew that they would do,
giving states complete authority to act on their own with regards to that age-old topic of abortion. I just want to let y'all know that we here in Insane Rhetorik have been talking about abortion since September 1st, 2021.
Yep.
And we told y'all, see y'all know how I'm serious I am when I start getting country on y'all. We told y'all. I didn't say, well, we told you all. I said, we told y'all.
Yeah.
We asked you to go vote. We ask you to pull these people out of office. We ask you, okay?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Now,
So
go ahead.
now I was just saying, like, so once I heard the information come down the line through some people that I know, guess what one of the first states was that jumped in on the bandwagon?
Well, Texas had already jumped on the bandwagon prior to this.
I know it.
So who
The
you
the
talking
the
about? New Mexico?
Missouri, immediately.
Mhm.
Immediately. I was just like, oh wow.
Mhm.
So I think we talked about the last time we was together when we was talking about abortion, and they was already looking at what was it, like 13 states that was gonna go that way, if I'm correct. I was
I
just
don't know
like,
why everybody's still being surprised by this because we knew
I don't know
this.
either.
Okay, this is what you do when you're complacent, and this is what happens when you allow religious right radicals. I've told you my stance. So don't, you know what? Don't come over here on our Instagram. Don't come over here on our Twitter. Don't come over here on any of our social media platforms and talk about what I'm telling you right now. This is a religious right movement because any two ways you got the Pope, the Vatican praising the U.S. on the abortion decision, talking about it challenges the world. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Hold
it's gonna be a struggle. Like, I
on,
mean,
it changes. This was the quote. It changes. It challenges the world to reflect on life issues, and
yeah,
then ask for or call for social changes to help women keep their children. So right there, here you have the Vatican, the Pope, saying, okay, it's a Christian, Catholic. Okay. They can't even use contraceptive. Okay. So here you go. We're understanding in just one sentence that there are social issues that keep women from keeping their children.
yeah,
Okay. But then in the same breath you say it forces the world or challenges the world to look at real life issues. So how many times you gonna be redundant?
I mean, that's what they know how to do. I mean, you think about the history of the Catholic Church, man. I mean, I don't think they have no right to say anything about all the stuff we know about them and what they have done down through the years with kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just I I don't know what to say about this situation because um I feel that that's your body. Do what you want. You know what I'm saying? When you want to do it, just make sure you're safe doing whatever it is that you do. I don't think that no person should be able to tell anybody what to do with their with
Well, listen, when the Vatican says this, they further went on to say this
what's what.
that the defense of human life could not be confined to individual rights because life is a matter of, quote, broad social significance.
Yeah.
It is a matter of broad social significance. However, it is also a matter of individual rights.
Right.
Because when you start taking away, let me tell y'all what's coming next, because we already seen it. We said it first here at Insane Rhetoric, and you didn't listen. I'm going to say it again first. You're hearing it first here at Insane Rhetoric. What's next is coming: civil rights.
Yeah.
Okay?
I
Civil
believe
rights.
I believe you're right. I believe you're right. I believe you're right. Like when you compare homosexuality laws and try to say back them up against civil rights laws, and that's two different things. You can't them apples and oranges. You can't make that comparison. But some people are trying to make that comparison, and I agree. I believe that the country is headed for what is called martial law. They don't want you to be able to do nothing, which is a form of what is called Marxism, communism, and socialism. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're trying to strip you of all your ability, your amendments, and your rights that is God given. So I don't know.
Those are the very words that these same people use to incite in order to do what they're doing now.
Yeah.
They're using Marxism, they're using socialism, they're using fascism, they're using all of these words with regards to political party, right? This is what
Yep.
they're calling anyone who is a Republican or anyone who isn't a far right Republican.
Yep. You're right.
Okay. Now, our president, Joe Biden, is a
Now,
Catholic.
Insane Rhetoric, we might be taking a pause for the cause, but go ahead because I am on site working. So if you hear something in the background, don't worry about it. Go ahead, sister.
Our president, Joe Biden, stepped out and condemned it yesterday, called it a sad day. He is a Catholic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening. Here.
Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, who is the head of the Pontifical Academy for Life, he called the court's decision a powerful, I'm quoting, all right, y'all, a powerful invitation to reflect on the issue at a time when Western society is losing passion for life.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
choosing life, our responsibility for the future of humanity is at stake.
Well, I mean, I would say that to be true. I mean, I would. There's no other way that it could be. People. Anytime you have a person that's stripping somebody else of their rights to be what they want to be, I think that poses a problem in any society and in any ethnicity, because you can only have a person be who they are regardless. If you don't like what they do, then that's just your opinion. But you shouldn't be able to affect a person's issue or opinion and how they feel about themselves and what they want to do with themselves because you don't like it. I disagree with that highly.
So the Academy also stated, that changes and that there needed to be changes in social conditions in order to defend life at all its stages, because Pope Francis called it he called it the same as hiring a hitman, right? To eliminate a problematic person. Okay, so
Yeah.
so they further went on to say this also means ensuring adequate sexual education, guaranteeing health care accessible to all, and preparing legislative measures to protect the family and motherhood, overcoming existing inequalities. Now, hold on a second. Hold that thought. We're trying to defund Planned Parenthood, if not get rid of it altogether. And this is what Planned Parenthood has been doing all along.
Right.
It's trying to ensure adequate sexual education, trying to guarantee health care accessible to all. You can hate Hillary Clinton all you want to, and calling her a demon. You can say she was a spy. You can say all the stuff they said that they didn't want to put her in office, right? But
Right.
way back in the 90s, she was trying to make her first lady thing be health care for all.
Right.
You didn't want it. You didn't want it. You fought it back. Let's move on up. She and President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama were trying to have health care for all. Regardless of what was going on between First Lady Obama and Hillary Clinton, they all agreed that health care was important for all our citizens. You named it Obamacare, trying to incite the public, and you didn't vote it in with everything that was in it. You cut it back. I remember going to one of our representatives here. His name is Al Green. Been there for years. I remember going to a town hall meeting with Obamacare, right? I think it was actually before they called it Obamacare. The book was this big, y'all. I ain't kidding. He had it up on the stage, on the podium. It was this big of all the things they wanted in it. Now, I'm sure it probably got down to this big, but still. Okay. You cut. You didn't want this, you didn't want that. You were protecting the special interests of doctors and medical suppliers. Okay. And you did not want to follow countries like Sweden, Finland.
Yeah.
Denmark.
I just don't know what else to say, man. Like I say, it's a chess move, man. It's a strategy to put people in place to find out how far the government can go before people stop kicking back against the government. And this is a prime example of what's going to happen, with everything, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, my co-host said about civil rights, and I highly agree about that, because if you start stripping little things away at a time without them really being noticed and people being kicked back about it, then you get the big things like this right here, Roe versus Wade, and everything that's going on with this situation. Eventually, you're gonna be back in the fields again, because that's what you want. But that's what they want.
They gonna beat me. I'm telling you, I always knew I always knew that if I had lived back in the days of slavery, I would get beaten. Harshly.
Yeah,
to my
like
death. I don't know that I
thing.
would be a runaway slave, but I definitely would have been insubordinate.
Oh man, I would have been a track star. I was gonna run, no doubt about it.
Y'all subscribe, like, follow, and go visit Dunkin' Donuts. This is a free. This is free, but Dunkin' Donuts ain't paying us. But this is a vanilla latte, y'all, with oat milk. And
that sounds wonderful. It sounds good.
It's really sweet if you get it the regular way, because they put 4 pumps of the vanilla in there. But I get 2 pumps. Y'all, okay, but anyway, like, follow, subscribe. Listen, this is the last quote from the Vatican. We need solid assistance to mothers, couples, and the unborn child that involve the whole community, encouraging the possibility for mothers in difficulty to carry on with the pregnancy and to entrust the child to those who can guarantee the child's growth. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
so you okay with adoption if as a last resort? I never told y'all this. I told y'all I was gonna tell y'all the story. I ain't gonna tell the story today. I ain't gonna tell the story today. It's a long story. We got a lot of stuff. So I've told you all on this show that I am for myself. See, this is an individual choice. I don't care what the Vatican say. For myself, I am pro-life. However, according to the rest of y'all, I'm pro-choice because I believe that a woman should be able to do with her body what she wants to do with her body. Okay. So, what I'm gonna say to y'all is this, with regards to this quote here from the Vatican. Entrust the child to those who can guarantee the child's growth. Y'all, that's adoption.
Yep. Yep. That's all it is.
Okay.
Straight ahead.
So I have an adoption story. I'm not gonna tell y'all this today. But I have an adoption story. I gave birth to a child. I done told y'all I had 3. The last time we talked about abortion, I told y'all I had 3 pregnancies and 3 natural births. I'll tell y'all that story later because one of those 3 pregnancies and 3 natural births, there is an adoption story attached. Actually, to 2 of them, there's an adoption story attached. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. So, being with my connection to my higher power, I understood that I didn't want to delete these my offspring's life, but I endured, carried that child to term, gave birth to that child, and then made an informed decision to entrust the child to those who can guarantee the child's growth.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's it. I mean, I get that, and I can understand that. And I think, coming from a man's point of view, and I'm gonna make this short, quick, and to the point, that is super hard for a woman to do. Naturally have a baby and then knowing that she can't do what she needs to do and then put her in the custody of somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? I in some instances I would think that would be worse than actually going through with an abortion, because now that somebody's on the planet and it's yours, but it's in the care of somebody else and you can't do what you need to do concerning them, I think that's worse.
And then to make the choice that I made, I didn't do a closed adoption, which was the norm at that time. Closed meaning you're shut out. You made this decision, you write it off, and then you're shut out. You don't know where they are. You don't know anything that happened to them. You're not allowed to see it, look for it, touch it, smell. Like, okay, I was one of few people at that time, very few people, who made the push, because we were pushing for it. We were women who were saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure it's safe. I know I got to stay back, but I want to be able to send pictures. I want to be able to have let that child have a connection because we understood that that person would at some point have questions.
Right.
So when I was making this decision, it was um, the norm to do when you did an open adoption, when you were allowed to do an open adoption, the norm at that time was to maybe send pictures or letters and send them to the adoption agency and they would forward them. Pictures,
Right.
maybe a letter. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know me. Look how I'm getting all up in my back already. And that was over 30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's crazy for
I
people.
made the decision and I told these people I was dogged. I told the adoption agency, I said, no, I'm not doing that. They said, what? I said, I'm not just sending a letter. I'll send a letter to pictures, but I'm gonna send them in with more frequency. And they gonna send me letters and pictures too. And they gonna give my children access to that child. Cause ain't no two ways. This was the third one. Ain't no two ways. They gonna see me pregnant, and then I don't come home with the baby. My children are not dumb, and I'm not gonna treat them like they're dumb. So I'm just telling y'all that there's more to it than you putting into this to this one decision.
Right. Right.
We'll talk
Yeah,
about that story later. Maybe I can convince that girl, that one, to actually come on the show with me and talk about our experience in the adoption triad.
yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. So I mean, like I said, I think everybody should have a point of view on how they feel about what's going on concerning them. You know, I was in some of them situations and didn't have no control over those situations, and neither did she because of her parents in that situation. I mean, like you say, like my co-host say, story for another time. But as a man on the opposite side of it, it makes men feel bad about what they don't have control over too. You know what I'm saying? And how they can try, even if you want to try to do the right thing, whatever your right thing may be, you know what I'm saying? It affects everybody. You know what I'm saying? And whatever way you gonna go, it affects everybody because to everything there are consequences. Consequences, the word itself is not bad. It's just what happens after you make a decision. Be bad or good. It's just consequences. But that, that's just that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
So,
gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that right there. So
so a friend of
like,
mine,
subscribe, and follow.
we were having the conversation, and they shared with me a post that one of their friends made uh, about this decision. So here's a quote from someone on Facebook. Let's keep it real here. The dirty secret no one wants to admit is that vast majority of the motivation for this abortion fight is about white nationalist elements attempting to increase the number of white babies because those groups are terrified of the prospect of being a future minority in this country. That's just the truth. And if you're familiar with not white nationalist thought, you'll understand. Remember that there are more white babies aborted annually than any other group. That's the problem for them. So let me stop there because there's more. We tell you all the time because we've gone back and shown you the statistics in show after show after show that when we have these types of problems, it is always the fight against white people doing these horrible things. We talked about abortion and the number of white people getting abortions in our show. We talked about white people, the number of white people who are on public assistance. Like, okay, so just remember, but we didn't just spout it out. We went and actually found the statistics for you. Okay, I'm gonna go on. This debate doesn't get into the mainstream though, and that's because the Republicans would rather ignore white nationalism altogether, while the Democrats get distracted by the other reasons that they give, like religion or being pro-life or miss the forest for the trees. Now, remember, let's just go back to January 6th. Why is it that they're still trying to have a hearing on what we all saw worldwide? White folks tearing up our nation's capital. Let me keep going. The reality is that a lot of these super passionate anti-abortion advocates don't give a damn about these babies. They just care about the numbers. They don't care what happens to them after they're born, only that they're born. Now, didn't we just say that? Didn't we just talk about the fact that you're telling us that you care about what happens to them after they're born, but you don't because you try to tear down things like programs like Planned Parenthood. Okay, wait a minute. They don't care about the societal effects of a bunch of unwanted kids in an era of highly suspect parenting. Just numbers. Highly suspect parenting. You got what's the boy, Ethan? That shot up the school. Crumley. Ethan Crumley shot up the school. His parents were called to the school before he did the shooting because they noticed some horrible drawings in his notebook. They said he all right, leave him at school. He went. They actually purchased the gun for him. Then after the shooting, they went on the run. The son went to jail. They didn't try to get the son a lawyer. They didn't try to help the son. They went on the run and were on the run for a while because the police were looking for them in connection with the shooting because of their bad parenting. But they got a high-priced lawyer for themselves and left their son hanging in the dry. Suspect parenting. We talk about all these things on Insane Rhetoric. Let me go on.
All the time. Crazy.
A lot of this is reflected in the immigration debate as well. It's all connected to a fear of demographic change. No one likes abortion, but no one should be forced to carry a kid because these dudes are scared of being a minority. The entire thing is pathetic. If the 90s was the high point for this country, I feel lucky I got to experience it because, listen, whoever you are, I feel lucky that I experienced it before Roe v. Wade, during Roe v. Wade, and now, as I have said on the show before, I am disappointed with my country.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I ain't disappointed with the country. I just know that they don't stand for the issues that they need to stand for, and that has always been the plot or the situation with the country. the things that need to be addressed and really change, they don't. And the stuff that don't need nothing, they want to change and do. You know, like we said, you still have on the books lynching laws. You haven't changed the 13th Amendment. It's stuff that needs to be freaking done that you're not even looking at because you don't want to do it.
And where's my 40 acres and a mule?
Man, that mule been dead. That mule been dead forever. Matter of fact, that was like it's a ghost in the dark. There was never no mule.
So here's Barack Obama's tweet yesterday. Today, the Supreme Court not only reversed nearly 50 years of precedent, it relegated the most intensely personal decision someone can make to the whims of politicians and ideologues attacking the essential freedoms of millions of Americans. Did you hear what our president said?
Mm-hmm.
Attacking the essential freedoms of millions of Americans. Let's go back to what I said earlier in the show. What's next is civil rights.
Yeah. You know what? Like I look at it like this. I say this, and this is the end for me because like I know that the country doesn't want to abolish a lot of things because they think that they are supposed to be that way. My problem is don't hide what you need to do. Just come on out and be what you need to be. Because we already know, what you're doing and what you're trying to do. Like, I mean, you think about the voting act that we was talking about, how stuff was going on and they was changing voting laws, man. There's just so much stuff that we talk about that people were caught up in the catch-22. Oh, this is happening. But yeah, behind the scenes, this is happening, which is more important than what's happening up front. You know what I'm saying? And I just for me, I feel bad for the people, but as a money guy, I think I'm gonna start investing in abortions because the stock on abortion is gonna go up because it's gonna cost so much to get them done now.
Well, about half of, and I'm reporting out from the BBC, about half of the states are expected to introduce new restrictions or bans after the court reversed Roe versus Wade. 13 states have a so-called trigger law in place that will see abortions banned within 30 days. Okay. Phoenix, Arizona, the police fired tear gas after pro-choice protesters banged on the doors. Okay. A lot of protests are going on. An abortion rock in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's one of the states with a trigger law. The doors to the patient area shut as soon as the court opinion was posted online. So the abortion courts abortion clinics are closing already. They're closed because, of course, they'll be judged for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, I wanted to read this to y'all because there was one place where, and I wanted to tell y'all about this. There was one place where there was some tweets, and JP Morgan Chase and a couple of other companies went on to Twitter and announced their stance on abortion. Okay, because they have Okay, so this one was reported by CNBC, JP Morgan Chase. They were asked, will you pay for an employee to travel to another state to seek an abortion if their state won't allow them to give? JP Morgan's answer, yes. Our healthcare plans have historically covered travel benefits for certain covered services that would require travel. Beginning in July, we will expand this benefit to include all covered services that can only be obtained far from your home, which would include legal abortion. So if you fly to the Dominican and you work for JB Chase, JP Morgan Chase, you fly to the Dominican to get an abortion, and it's legal there, they're gonna pay for it. If you fly to one of the states in the United States where it's still legal, they're gonna pay for it. Okay. So all is not lost yet. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There was also a response from another company. Let me see if I can find it quickly, y'all, before y'all have. Well, okay, I can't find it. I don't want to keep the show up, but there was also another the ACLU. Says if you need an abortion, we want you to know where is the network of abortion funds and support networks that can help you to get the information and care you need. The ACLU. I'm gonna tell you where it is. Abortionfunds.org/need-abortion. Okay. That's the ACLU. So all is not quite lost. Okay. Now people are, I'm telling y'all, reading is fundamental. We joke on the show about it being the Sesame Street for adults. But reading is fundamental. So I learned years ago that white folks understand words, and that's how they are able to find loopholes to the laws.
Yep.
So I'm gonna need you all to read.
Yeah. It's imperative that you know how to do it.
And I'm gonna need you all to get up off your butts and change who's in office.
Yeah. Because that's the problem. That is the problem. I'm like, you know what? I hope they get it together. That's all I can say. Whatever. I can't say nothing else. Can't do nothing else other than what we normally do, and that's just try to promote information about what's going on in our world. Because right now it's messed up. So you ready to get out of here?
There's a Mississippi clinic. It just plans to open somewhere else.
That Chuckalisa? P-Valley, Chuckalisa, Mississippi.
Let's talk about the dissension judges. Here's a quote from the dissenting judges. Quote, no language in today's decision stops the federal government from prohibiting abortions nationwide. Once again, from the moment of conception and without exception for rape, did you see that? Without exceptions for rape or incest. So they're still saying that in some states, you may still be able to get abortion if you were raped through the regular violence of rape and the regular violence of incest, right? They're both
Right.
violence, but one is in your family and one is not in your family. Okay.
Right.
They're still saying that women seeking abortions would need to finance travel, um, not to New York or California, but to Canada. So let me hurry up and get my passport so I can go to Canada and get an abortion.
You still having kids? You still having kids?
Well, I told you on date night, I still want to have sex. It will make you think I.
TMI, TMI, TMI.
You know what?
Hey, like to each his own, man. Like I said, I can't say nothing a whole lot about this topic, but I'm glad we had this topic and talking about the issue because it's needed. And from that point, man, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say about it.
I'm gonna need y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to go and listen to Boy Bay, Go Court, and No Choice in Texas.
Yeah.
Ken Paxton here in Texas. Listen, Ken Paxton, you know Ken Paxton, our Attorney General. Closed offices statewide to honor unborn babies, to create a holiday for unborn babies.
Well, I guess I got to give them something. They gave black people Juneteenth. Oh my God, my God.
Anyway, oh wait,
that's great.
Listen, subscribe, like, follow, go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just giving shameless plug. Listen, I'm just giving them all this free attention.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. This is crazy. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We on every platform: iHeartRadio, Google Music, freaking Owl's Tales. We on freaking everything. You can just check us out and just post and leave comments, man, because we want to hear your insight. We want to know what you think about the shows. Like, we're in all different kinds of countries, so listen, we trying to just make you aware of what's going on, what's happening in the world, and what we trying to do is build a network of information to keep you informed. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to be freaking informed about our life and our surroundings. So that being said, listen, just remember to enjoy the ride that is Insane Rhetoric. And we out this piece.
Hi, y'all.
Later.